Hey guys, it's Otti again. I'm sitting here at the Rage Against Racism. Besides me, Sarah from the band CATHUBODUA. Hi, first of all.
Hi, and hello world.
Hey, CATHUBODUA, you have played here?
Yes.
We talk about this. First of all, to people outside who don't know you, you are the singer.
Yeah.
Of CATHUBODUA, founder.
Yes, I am one of the only original members left. So I started in 2013 with the band as a singer and slowly evolved, pandemics, whatnot. I am also songwriting right now. So a little bit of both.
So this developed, we can talk about this as well. And music is symphonic metal, there's no doubt
We
about
call it epic symphonic metal because we try to tell stories with our songs and get great emotions. So it's very epic symphonic, yeah.
And emotions is a good point because you have played, I think, a second band today. It was a great show for me.
Thank you.
Seeing it. For you, how was it to be on stage on this beautiful festival?
It was very well. I haven't played in Germany a lot, but every time I come to Germany, I feel the crowd and the audience. They have such an amazing energy. We played at 5:20, and everyone's like ready to party. So you go on the stage and everyone's already energized and everyone's willing to, well, I go a lot of hey, everyone's willing to participate and it gives you so much energy. I really thought it was an amazing place and chance to play here, yeah.
Besides this festival, what have been your coolest and biggest stages you entered so far?
If I have to think, I'm thinking back. We opened Antwerp Metal Fest a few years ago, which was very cool because we were a little bit the strange one in the bunch because Antwerp Metal Fest is very brutal. It's very hard types of metal, and we opened it. It was very cool. And I personally liked Bühne in Belgium. I think we played there in 2022, just after the pandemic. And we played in a tent, and everyone was ready to party. And I will remember it forever because it was a huge crowd. And I told the security guys, I have never crowd surfed in my life. So, you know, like in the last song, there is a break. Just like get me over those 2 meters and get me in the crowd. And they were like, yeah. And then the moment came, but I didn't tell the band.
Okay.
And then the security came and he lifted me over. And you see, if I see videos of that moment, you see the band like going, what is happening? So it's one of my personal best memories that I have of shows.
Totally can understand. Yeah. I think crowd surfing is something, you have to be somehow brave to do it.
Yeah, and well, I was going, I will do this, and then I was like, almost forgot that I also still needed to sing. So I was there with my microphone in the crowd and also laughing. So it was amazing.
Was it a cable microphone or with?
No, it's wireless. Luckily, otherwise I would have been stuck.
The cable would be really difficult. So people have to cut off the cable as well. Yeah. Totally understand. Cool. And for sure, we have to talk about the motto of this festival because it's Rage Against Racism, which is a good cause, I would say. What do you think about this? How important is this nowadays for you?
I think we at CATHUBODUA, we're getting there. We at CATHUBODUA are very aware of our backgrounds, and we all grew up in a very multinational world, right? And I think the most important part is just that awareness of that we have different backgrounds culturally, ethnically, and that it's not okay to discriminate against people for that or for any reason, basically. It's also what I would say. I told it during the concert, but inclusion means everyone. It's very important for me, and also for the band. It's something that we value a lot. So I think we're very happy to play here with a bit of a good message to the world as well. So rage against racism. Yeah.
Totally. But this is nothing that happens in your lyrics somehow, or is it somewhere part of this?
Well, the lyrics are very emotional, but well, let me rephrase that. We don't make very big statements about the world as it is. We do, but it's more like a sub-theme in those epic stories we tell. Because also a lot of these stories are based on literature, on history, and you see themes of racism and inclusion in there as well, but it's not one of our main themes. But of course, it's the world as it is today, and as a musician, I think you describe the world as you feel it and you see it, so it's very important to us.
Totally understand. And you told me you grew into this songwriting part more and more. So how did this develop? Maybe you can tell me something. And what's the biggest challenge maybe on writing songs for you?
So there was a point in time, as I told, I'm one of the original members, and when our first violinist left, Katrien left, she wrote the most of the songs. So that meant suddenly we had a gap in songwriting, right? So nobody was writing songs. And then there was also the pandemic at the same time. So she quit at the end of 2019. And so we decided, why not try it ourselves? Well, I was at home, working from home. I suddenly had a lot more time. So let's just try it. And I think the biggest challenge up to now has been, we have Arvid, our violinist, who is classically schooled as a musician. So he knows everything. He knows which harmonies work, which timings work. And I was coming in there like, let me just try this. So the biggest challenge was also learning the technical part. Well, I have no technical music background, but also learning to do that and to make music that is coherent and nice for other people to listen to. But also as a band, we've grown in that. So it's very nice.
Sometimes the main problem is if you are not capable of an instrument, for example, you think of parts nobody can play.
Yeah,
somehow,
I write drum parts thinking that Harald, our drummer, has 8 arms. He's like some goddess.
So he's no octopus?
There's no octopus.
You should change,
Harald is not an octopus.
change him to an octopus, maybe.
In the songwriting sometimes, yes. And also with the violin. It's because I also write for violin, and he's like, I don't think this is possible. So we have to, that's why we work together as a band, like, okay, this is ridiculous, now make it work. So.
Okay, understand. And for sure, then you have written the current album, it's Interbellum.
Yeah.
So maybe can you tell me what has inspired you for this one? Just a summary of...
Yeah, I think Interbellum was the first album we released after our first violinist left. And it's a story about a goddess, because the title of the last song is Goddess Fallacy. So it's a story about how people are made into these thought statues, like that we expect things of people, we grow them into a certain role without considering their own strengths and weaknesses. So it's a very story about basically a girl who gets turned into a goddess by magic, and what happens to her. So she loses a lot of people because she becomes immortal. She loses the one she loves. She gets all of these feelings of rage, of, okay, but who is my people? Who am I? And at the end of the album, of course, if you're immortal, that means you die alone. So it's a very heavy story. And at that point in time, I was going through a lot of personal stuff myself, so I could really relate. So I always say, Goddess Fallacy, I will never write a song that emotional again. So it's really close to my heart as well. Yeah.
So, and you played it today?
No, it's a long song.
Okay. This is for festival long songs.
Yeah, so if they book us for 45 minutes, no, it's a song that's about 9 minutes long. And if you have a 30-minute set list, it's a bit of a risk. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
But how did you develop the set list for today? Newer songs, older songs?
Yeah, we mixed the newest song with some from Interbellum and some that really work from our first album, Continuum. We know from Continuum, Hydra is a very pumped up, happy song, also Hero of Ages. And it's also more our background is in like a very power metal folk. And we wanted to show that side as well as our latest album. On Interbellum, we have more of like, there's some elements of death and black metal peeking through a lot of the anger. So for Rage of Racism, I thought that's a great choice. And we released a single last week. So that's what we opened with. We were just like, just go with it. So
know that. Yeah.
Indeed.
So for sure, we have to talk about this. What's the background of that one? Oh, all right.
Know that we started writing it, I think, last summer. It's like if we are building a new storyline, because we work in storylines, right? We are set in a fictional world, and the next storyline will be a lot about the power play again, like people in power without power. And as you see, the 3 albums will converge at some point in time. That was a sneak peek. Let's wait for the train, maybe. Hello, train.
It's not.
Hello, world. It's not okay.
This is fine.
And so the next song, the next album will have a story arc of people that get a lot of ideas and power, but don't have the power to do something about it, and so they turn against their creators. And know that we chose it because it's a pivotal moment in the album. It's the point where our main character gets the idea, okay, I have a lot of power. You gave me that power, but now I'm stuck here. And so it's that moment of realization of power. And I don't want to spoil too much about it, but I think the storyline was also, I hope it touches a lot of people.
And for this, I have to ask, tell storylines. So, is it the bigger story behind all of this? Do you have some
That's the big,
kind of universe?
That's the big secret, right?
Yeah, so probably.
Probably. Like everything could click together at one point in time. I loved how, instance, there's this band Haken, and they had 5 or 6 albums, and then at the last album of their storyline, they mashed all those stories, all those themes, and harmony into one 20-minute song, and I dropped off my chair. So that's what I want to reach in the end, that people listen to our music and they're like, we work towards this point.
Okay. So this is totally the epic part of your... Totally great. So there's more stuff to come this year. What is coming next after?
What's coming next?
What can tell maybe?
What I can tell. We have one festival show in Belgium. Navirbolg again. So they asked us back. That's really nice. The crowd surfing moment. I hope I get to do it again. And I think we have, and I'm going to have to lie, 1 or 2 singles this year still to come. And then what happens when a band does that? They will get an album, right? So, but it will not be this year. I can tell you it's not this year.
But when it's coming, let me know.
Yeah, I will.
So we can talk about
and
this
we
as well.
will do an interview again.
Yeah, for sure. But for today, you told me this is beer without alcohol. So
yeah.
But normally you do party if you have the possibility, or?
Yeah, normally I drive. But if I can convince the guitar guy, Robin, to drive, I do have a few beers. So, and I can party with alcohol-free beer.
For sure.
I don't need the alcohol. It's better without.
You seem to be a person who has fun.
Oh yeah.
With or without alcohol.
What is life without fun, right? So we write dramatic stories, but we bring them in a fun way.
So maybe this as the last question: what really are the things that make you laugh?
I have a very bad sense of humor. So I think the things that make me laugh is things that really go, like, I was on stage and the batteries of my microphone were running out. I think everyone noticed it, but internally I was dying with laughter because I'm just that's mocking myself. It's like, I tell everyone on stage, get your batteries, check your batteries. And then I'm the one that runs out of batteries. I will keep laughing about it, right?
Okay. Yeah. So there's some kind of self-irony.
Yes, maybe a little sarcasm and self-irony is the best.
Great, to be honest. Cool. And as we mentioned, we can talk about the next album and this. For today, do you have some free message, some greetings to the people outside before we quit?
I think... I did not prepare this. But I think the value of this festival of Rage Against Racism is something that we all should support. With people in general, with metal people, to create that inclusive environment where everyone can fit in. And that means everyone. And I am very proud. And I think the band is also very proud to have been a little part of that.
So nothing more.
So thank you.
Thank you for the great talk. People outside, thanks for watching. CATHUBODUA, a great band. Sara, great girl, woman, person, everything.
Human.
Great human, great show.
Thanks, Otti.
And for today, I'd say bye-bye and cheers. See you.
Bye.